Hello, this is Anna Imagination with the Healing Garden, and welcome to Shifting Perspectives. Okay, so on my last rant, I talked a lot about can't doers, and I'm going to continue that here and now because we need to talk about it. Now, if you look at the title of this video, which is very clever, I might say. All right, let me take a look here. It's called The Can't Doers, the Psychological Infection. Are you infected? I love some of the stuff that I come up with. And I'm looking for a notebook that I can jot down my ideas as I write, because I have to do that, because that's one of my weird quirks that I've got about me. And I'm out of notebooks. So I just found one. So all right. Can't doers. This is something I'm very excited about. Can't doers are foundationals. They are people that bottom line, they're foundationals. I'm doing a lot right now this morning with this concept of let's break this down. All right. So welcome to my classroom. This is my hypothetical classroom of making, thank you, Daniel, of making this shit up. Ooh, it's empty. My favorite thing in the world is an empty notebook. Seriously, it's my favorite thing in the world. Oh my God, the potential. Okay. This is precious. Thank you. I cry when people gift me with pens. I value the written word. Now, okay, so here we go. Can't doers are basically anyone in your life who has embedded this concept of you can't do. And we're going to use the words imposter syndrome for a minute, but I really want to pull away from that word because that is one pillar of many in this big topic. And it's the one everyone likes to jump to. And the problem is it does not encompass the full picture of what you're really dealing with, which makes it harder for you to understand and deal with. So by pulling it out and giving you a bigger perspective of the same problem, you get to fully understand the issue so you can overcome it. So here's how it works. By the way, that is how all psychology works. If you struggle understanding something, it's because you're looking at the smaller picture and you have to span out and look at the big picture. So you have basically people in the world who are called can't doers, and they are the first in line to tell you that you need to stay in line. And this is religious people. They're usually the very first in line to tell you what you can and can't do. Tradition. God, this is so, I hear it already. Tradition. This is like the whole plot of Fiddler on the Roof is about can't doers telling nonconformists what they can and can't do. Like, this is it. So you have religious, you have tradition, you have culture. And basically it's boxed thinking. And then you have conformists. This is conformity. You have pessimism. That's a big one. People who are pessimistic, they are the very first, and my father is this, very first in line to say you can't do that just because they're negative, just because they can't, and they have it embedded into their head about their limitations. They project their limitations onto other people. And in most cases, it's us. So pessimism, religious, tradition, culture, boxed thinking, not conformity. We have rule followers, sheep. It's really funny that we say, oh, you're a black sheep. And we ostracize black sheep like it's a dirty black thing and we throw it away. And then we glorify sheep. And the Christian religion at its core glorifies sheep. And there's the societal reference to people being sheep and they follow. And it's really hilarious because these are the people, there are people who glorify sheep thinking. And then there's people who slander and look down on sheep thinking. And it's the same metaphor. And it's like, it's really fascinating to me that the sheep, there's sheep who are followers, sheep who are glorified and they're good people because they're followers. And then there's black sheep. And there's the black sheep over there going, oh, you're the black sheep. And then there's the black sheep going, yeah, I'm the black sheep. Yeah, I got out of that crap. I'm not a lemming. It's hilarious to me. So every time I hear the word sheep, I giggle inside. So these are all the can't doers. These are people who seek to project limitations. That's what they do. They project limitations. And in almost every case, they project their limitations onto other people. So then you have explorers. The explorers are people who value growth, people who value education, and people who aspire. and people who dream. So you are either, yeah, this is it. Let's go black and white, and then we're going to look into the spectrum. So you are either a can't doer or you are an explorer. And then you can be in that black and white, or I'm sorry, in the gray realm, in the spectral realm, where you are wanting to be an explorer, but you're being held back. You are a sheep and you obediently obey, but you're looking over your shoulder going, God, I want to know what's out there. There's those people. And then there's the people who said, no, you can't make me. I'm leaving. So many fantasy books have begun with this story where you have this, I can't take it anymore. I need adventure. And they're running out their door and their parents are holding them back going, you're going to die out there. So you've got this whole thing happening. That's the spectrum. And yeah, where are you? That's the question, is where am I on this spectrum? And by defining where you are on all of these spectrums, it helps you understand a lot. First, it's going to help you figure out what your problem is. That you don't have a problem. You're just an explorer being forced to stay home because the can't doers are going, no, you got to stay home and inherit the family business. And you got to marry someone, all that shit. And I'm just not, no. If you are an explorer, you belong out there. And it's very much, and then you get out there and you're doing what you do, and then you've got this infection. This literally, it's a psychological infection. I love this psychological infection. Are you infected? Psychological infection, where I love that psychological infection, where you have this psychological infection inside of your brain that is holding you back, so that when you go out the door, you've got this little voice in your head telling you, you can't do this. You can't do this. And it reminds me a lot of The Hobbit. Like, as I say a lot of this stuff, The Hobbit, literally, the movie, the whole movie and the books play through my mind. The whole damn story just is constant. Like, I'll be talking about stuff. Like when I was just describing about how you're running out the door and you're like, I have to go. I imagined Bilbo running out going, I'm going on an adventure. And what I loved about Bilbo is you really don't see a lot of psychological infection in him, which is actually illogical. In the book, he was around 65 years old, 65 years old. And that really bothered a lot of people because they're like, oh, he's too old to be adventuring. Oh my God, that's so funny. And so he's running out and he's running out and doing his things and he's on all these massive adventures. And you don't see it very often. You do in the movie, especially, where you see it come up where he's going, I'm not a great warrior. I'm not a burglar. I'm not a thief. I'm not any of this. And that's the whole movie, is the first movie, is Bilbo versus his psychological infection of can't doers. And then he does do. And he realizes, oh, I can do. And there's this, oh my God, this is so Treasure Island. This is so coming of age story. This is it. It's your coming of age story. It's when you basically break out of the can't doer mentality and you realize that you can do and you pursue it. And then you prove to yourself, now you've got proof of concept. And it basically frees you so that you're finally in this place where you can break out and you're like, yes, and you go. And you're going and you're free. And you realize at that point that you can do. That the whole time you've been literally infected. So I have a weird thing with my eye. It's really bad where you can see it. And I have no idea why. And doctors cannot explain it. And it happens. And so I play with my eyes a lot. And it's been there for like 10 years. And I think we can't tell if it's psychological or if it's legit. And I don't have any allergies. And it's absolutely random and there's no rhyme or reason. It just flares up. So we're trying to figure out if it's psychological or not. But that being said, so if you see me playing my eyes and I get distracted, that's why. So you have this proof of concept and you're seeking that coming of age. And it's literally you contending with the can't doers. So the pillars of can't doers looks like this. The first one is what we're all familiar with, imposter syndrome. But imposter syndrome is vague. Imposter syndrome comes with the feeling of, oh, I don't belong here. I'm not worthy. That's really it, is the I'm not worthy of where I am. And that's the problem. It's this concept of you feeling like you're not worthy. Now that ties into self-value, self-doubt, self-esteem. Now, not everybody struggles with that. A lot of people have can't doer syndrome because it's a fear of rejection. And that's what a lot of people are tackling, is a fear of rejection, a fear of losing their belonging, fear of losing belonging, fear of failing. These are not imposter syndromes, but they're all connected. They're just different pillars. These are all the other ones that no one talks about. So once you get the big picture of understanding that imposter syndrome is just one pillar of like 5 to 10 pillars, it really helps you understand that you're actually fighting can't doer syndrome. Can't doer syndrome. Yeah. And it's really a question of this psychological infection. So when you are raised, and some people aren't raised in this, some people were blessed with parents who did cheer them on. So if you had a parent who cheered you on and this isn't your problem, wow, are you rare? Good for you. Holy shit. Wow. And those are the people who just fly. Like, I love this story. This story that's in my head that I just made up. I'm going to tell you my story. The reason why penguins can't fly is because a bunch of can't doers turned around and told them they can't fly. And they got to a point where they believed it so much that they got fatter, they got wider, they got heavier, their feathers got thinner, their bodies evolved until they couldn't fly. So that's really it. Evolution is extraordinary. It's fucking powerful. My God, is it fucking powerful. There is not a species of pig. Pigs are amazing. Did you know? If you take a pig and you put it out in the wild, within 2 generations, that pig will have evolved into a wild boar. If you take a wild boar and put it into a farm setting and domesticate it, in 2 generations, pig generations, not human generations, pig generations, that wild boar will look like a domesticated farm pig. That is fucking intense evolution. First time I read this, researched it, discovered this, my mind just exploded. I went, 2 fucking generations? Yes, pigs evolve that fast. We should all be like pigs. 2 generations, 2 fucking generations. If you look at a wild boar and a farm pig, the only difference is mindset. True story. I believe human beings are the same way. I believe human beings, when you get out of the can't doers, can do better. And that's really what we're contending with. Evolution. Let's talk to a bunch of religious people about how they feel about evolution. So I think this is really growth about evolution. The concept of change. And there is nothing that shows you that evolution exists more strongly than watching the genetics of a pig and a wild boar unfold. It's extraordinary. It's absolutely extraordinary. Mindset is really a massive contributor for evolution. And if you don't believe it, look at a farm pig and a wild boar. Because the only difference between a wild boar and a pig is their mindset. One is domesticated, the other is wild. And when they undergo that, you look at tusks, you look at hair growth, you look at an entirely different composition of body. It's extraordinary. Absolutely fucking extraordinary that they evolve that fast. Mindset. Absolute mindset. It's just so extraordinary. So Pigeons, something similar. I love pigeons. God, again, this is extraordinary. I live in New York City, so the pigeons are like rats here. They're everywhere. And they're all white and blue. The reason why they're white and blue is because the buildings are stainless steel. They actually started off as wood pigeons, which was brown, which is why every now and then you see a brown pigeon and you're like, why is it brown? Well, actually, they're all brown. But when we built the stainless steel skyscrapers, the pigeons evolved to change color for their camouflage to match the stainless steel buildings. So the pigeons are white and blue, and yeah, white and blue to blend in with the skyscrapers. That's why pigeons look the way they look, to blend in with the pavement and the skyscrapers. If you put them back into the wild, they will evolve back into looking like the forest. They'll be brown again. But they're supposed to be brown. And it's absolutely fascinating. Again, it is really evolution. And evolution is linked to your mindset. Because if you're sitting here going, gotta survive, gotta survive, gotta survive, gotta blend in, gotta blend in, gotta blend in, everything's blue, everything's blue, everything's blue, you're gonna be blue. Gotta blend in, gotta blend in, gotta blend in. Everything is brown and green. I've got to be brown and green. You're gonna be brown and green. A chameleon. Now, a chameleon can do it like that. And that's really what we're up against. Our camouflage and our evolution. Ooh, I just unlocked a whole lot of brain candy for myself. Oh, yes, that's it right there. Because you're looking at, what did I just say? It was so amazing. What did I just fucking say? I need those words. What did I just say? I was just so excited. I forgot what I said. And this is really fucking important. I'm like, oh my God, I got to talk about this. Camouflage and evolution. Wow. Camouflage and evolution. I'm checking that. I'm like, 17 minutes. Can I do this in 5? So when we are raised, we are very much raised in this concept of camouflage, where we all have to fit in. That's the mask wearing that we talk about. And then you have your evolution, where you have this desire to grow, but you got to fit in. But you can't fit in if you're camouflaged. Let me rephrase that. You can't evolve if you're camouflaged. You're going to have to choose between the camouflage or the evolution. But the can't doers put you in an environment where you can't evolve. So you have to leave the society so you can stop camouflaging yourself, so you can start evolving. But that's where the belonging comes into it. And the belonging is such a huge part of it. People are terrified of the belonging because once upon a time, you were an outcast and it was a death sentence. And we're not talking too long ago. Like what, 50 years ago? 100 years ago? This is new. It's not dangerous anymore. It's not dangerous anymore. It's safe to be different now. It is safe to be different. Oh my God, we're going to write that down. It is safe to be different. And when you realize that it's safe to be different, you're finally in a position where you can go out of your way to, you're finally in a position where you can get out there and you can do what you need to do. It's extraordinary. Safe to be different. Yeah, because all fear really is contending with is your safety. So if we focus, instead of focusing on fear and how to manage fear, no, let's not manage fear. Let's talk about safety. Let's talk about how to get you safety. So I think I just want to write today. I think I really want to sit down and just start laying this all out in an article format and documenting it all. Because I really want to sit down and like, I have, the universe is telling me to do something today. She's going, it's time to write. It's time to write. And I'm getting the desire and the need to write. And I'm going, oh, I can feel it. It's time to write. Now the question is, who's manipulating who here? Is the universe and the intuition manipulating me? Or is this my identity is coming later? I believe that love comes from the desires of the universe. Make it enjoyable. Make it pleasurable, and they'll do it. Oh, you manipulative little bitch. I love you. Huh. You fucking little bitch. Oh, she's gorgeous. Make a person desire it. Make a person enjoy it, and they'll do it. It's the best type of manipulative practice in the world. But it's absolutely for our benefit to keep us safe, to keep us truly safe. Make it pleasurable. Make it enjoyable. You want someone to do something? Make it pleasurable for them. Make it enjoyable. And be aware of when somebody is using that against you. Oh, that's a whole nother, that opens up so much. If you love shit like this, like, subscribe, follow, comment below. Let me know what part of the show resonated with you. And take a look at the Linktree account. I have a Linktree below, and it provides you with a full menu of everything we do at the Healing Garden. Thank you. Yeah, grab the city map. That's it. It's the city map. This is a city you've walked into. Grab the city map. Just go to my Linktree account, and it will direct you. Look at our directory. Yes, if you want to know where you want to go in this place, look at the directory. Grab the Linktree below. Thank you so much, and may the kindest of words always find you.